Hello and welcome back to 1874. It's time for a very, very special match preview. Villa, of course, take on Cardiff City on Friday at Villa Park. Huge tie anyway, but I think it takes on a little bit more after Villa's defeat at Crystal Palace this week. I'm delighted to say, and what I'm sure is probably a first, I don't think many people get to do this. We've got an ex-Aston Villa icon on, but he's also playing in the game on Friday. Anwar El Ghazi, of course, is playing for Cardiff, a return to Villa Park. I'm sure every Villa fan is thoroughly looking forward to seeing him on the Villa Park pitch again. And Anwar, I'm sure you're really looking forward to it as well, because you said this is your dream tie.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. Thanks for having me, first of all. And yeah, it was amazing. I was in the hotel. I think it was before the Portsmouth game. I'm not sure, but we was also having dinner together. And then the draw came up, and I was just very pleased when I saw Villa, and then exactly how I wanted it. I didn't want it in Cardiff Stadium. I really wanted at Villa Park, so it couldn't be any better.
Yeah, I guess you left quite suddenly in the end, didn't you? So you didn't really ever get a chance to say goodbye to the Villa fans.
No, I didn't have time. I think I was on loan at Everton, didn't had a good spell there, came back. It was my wife gave birth around that time, and then it was just quickly to PSV.
When you go back there on Friday, Anwar, will it bring back a lot of memories for you?
Oh, 100%. I'm still trying to watch a few games at Villa Park. I've been to, I think, a Champions League game against Celtic. I was there. Last season against Chelsea home, I was there. So I try to get so much matches in when I can. So I definitely think it will be a memorable day for me.
And did you get a good reaction when you went there? I presume a lot of the supporters noticed you and tried to say hello.
Yeah, to be honest, I try to come with a hoodie and with a cap, otherwise I get recognized very quick. But even though I had a cap on and a hoodie, still people recognizing me. So yeah, I just love Birmingham, and I think I have a good interaction with the fans, and it's a special place for me. Great year, in the championship where we get promoted. I think still one of the best days of my life when I look back at it. And yeah, getting my first game in the Premier League, and yeah, just amazing. And of course, I think not everyone know it. My son is born in Birmingham, so I got a Brummie myself. So it makes it extra special now.
Hopefully, for your sake, he doesn't end up sounding like me, because I'm sure you don't want that. I was just going to say, actually, like, because you were part of that side that got Villa up, and I mean, I'm sure you couldn't have even imagined where Villa would be at today. But I think players like you yourself, Conor Harahan, James Chester, players like that were part of that team that got Villa up. The Villa fans hold them in their heart so dearly. Is that like a really special thing for you? And is it one of the proudest achievements of your career, getting Villa back to the Premier League?
Yeah, 100%. I think that's one of my most special moments. Yeah, in my football career so far, and yeah, it's just amazing that I could be a small. Yeah, just even though it's not a big thing.
I mean, it's pretty big to score the goal at Wembley, Anwar. I think you're underselling yourself a little bit.
No, but I mean, like, the success they're having today is obviously not because of me, but I mean, like, just being able to help the team going where they are now. It's just, yeah, it makes it special. 100%. I'm proud.
I think often players they don't realise the impact that they have on supporters. And when you look at sort of the long journey that Villa have been on, Anwar, from when you first joined, every player really does play a part in the long-term aims of the club, and you sort of playing down your impact there. But those 2 years that you featured for the club heavily, were so important in the big journey. And if you didn't help get those goals that got Villa up in the first place, and then help the club survive the second season, the club wouldn't be where it is now. So I do think each player has a.
You don't realize that.
Yeah, players don't realise that so much, but each player really does have a big impact on it. Let me just take you back to that promotion season, because for a lot of supporters, that was the one that they really enjoyed the most because they won so many games. I mean, how fun was it that second half of the season, winning so often?
Yeah, it was. To be honest, it was just brilliant. I think the change was also when Jack came back from his injury, and I think with a couple of additions, I think Tyrone Mings entered as well. Yeah, we just had a team just locked in to each other, and from that moment when we had a big streak of winning games, we knew that there is something, because I think by the time in December we were really low, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So and then out of nowhere in January we had just the team was just playing with each other and the rhythm was there and then we felt like there is something happening here, and yeah, the confidence keep growing and yeah, until we got into Wembley. And to be honest, not to sound arrogant, but as soon as we won against West Brom with the penalties, I had already a feeling that we are gonna go up.
Yeah, we might talk about penalties, especially with your record, a little bit later on in the show. Of course, then obviously Villa in the Premier League, Anwar, and you were a big part of that journey as well. Scored a lot of goals for Villa in the Premier League. Actually, how did you find that? Because I guess when you joined Villa, you always wanted to end up playing in the Premier League. You didn't plan to stay in the Championship with Villa for years. How much of a big thing was it for you to play in the Premier League?
Yeah, it's amazing. I can remember my first game. I think it was Tottenham away. Yeah, it felt completely different, to be honest,
Yeah,
compared to the Championship, and it was a dream what came true. And I don't even forget my first goal. I think it was on a Friday night against Everton.
yeah, good night that was.
Yeah, that was also. Oh, I got goosebumps already. With the crowd celebrating, and I think it was our first win as well. We had a couple of losses before that. We were really struggling. So yeah, the relief and the atmosphere was just brilliant.
And then to obviously survive and stay up on the final day of the
Yeah.
season was just such a big moment for the club as well.
100%. Yeah, definitely. I think, yeah, we survived at the end, even though it didn't look really well. And then a few players like Trezeguet really stepped up
Yeah.
that period of time. And yeah, we stayed in the league, and the relief was immense as well, to be honest.
I've asked you this before, Anwar. We've discussed your exit in the past, and I've written articles on The Athletic about it. But just for the viewers that haven't read that article, just talk me through your exit, because I remember at the time you said you felt like a little bit let down by Steven Gerrard, the manager at the time, because you didn't get enough opportunities. And then obviously what happened then. Just talk to us about your exit and how sad that was.
What do you mean exactly? I didn't understand.
Well, sorry, when you left Aston Villa, and when Steven Gerrard came in, and then you moved on loan, didn't you, to Everton?
Yeah.
I remember you talking to me at the time, saying that you were just a little bit upset about how it had all played out. So just talk to me about that period. When you felt that your time at Villa was ending.
Yeah, it was obviously a very hard time for me. But yeah, football is like that. Unfortunately, you have ups and downs. It's a hard industry. Everyone knows that. Yeah, what can I say? I didn't had yeah, basically when Steven Gerrard came in, he didn't really play with wingers, and yeah, he just told me like, yeah, you're a good player, but not the kind of player I'm looking for. I play more like with number 10s, with Coutinho's, the kind of players, Buendias. So at least he was being honest, and I knew yeah, what was coming. So I appreciate that, but it was, yeah, really hard to swallow. So that's why me, Trezeguet, Bertrand Traoré had to make our way, because
Yeah,
they weren't
yeah,
really playing with wingers.
yeah,
So you don't have any influence. At least no, you have clarity to move on. So that's why I went to Everton on loan. Didn't have the best time there either. Yeah, and then I came back, and the manager's still there. Preseason starts. I didn't have a full preseason. I was like, let me just try and get the best out of it. I had a 1 year contract left, so the club is also trying to get still some money for you if possible. So yeah, I think my time was just up, unfortunately. Yeah, that was not an easy time.
No, and you've gone on to play elsewhere, and you've ended up
Yeah,
back in England So, well, back in the UK, not back in England at all, because Cardiff is in Wales, and
definitely.
you've been given this dream chance to play at Villa Park again.
Yes.
How weird is it going to be? Because I guess as well, there's a couple of players who may play, who you played with in Tyrone Mings and John McGinn. So
That's,
you were at Villa
yeah.
for a fairly long time. Like, how strange is that going to be?
Yeah, really strange. To be honest, not everyone know my situation, what happened last year. But if you do, yeah, I can't talk too much about it. But all I can say is like I was thinking I would never play professional football again.
Oh,
So that's why I'm really really grateful for the opportunity that Cardiff gave me, and I'm enjoying every minute, because last season I really thought it was over with my career. Just gonna start back maybe where it all started and play from there. But thank God I got this opportunity by Cardiff, so I will always be grateful for that. And then, to play now against Aston Villa at Villa Park, to meet the fans again, maybe for the last time. Yeah, it's just amazing. I'm really looking forward to it. We had a couple very important games. Thank God we won yesterday against Hull, what gives us some time to pick up more points. But my head has been with this game for the last 2 weeks already, to be honest. I can't lie about that.
Yeah, I was following the result last night. It was a really important one for Cardiff, wasn't it?
Yes.
With the situation the club's in. You came off the bench, Anwar. Have you got any indication yet as to whether you'll start on Friday or not? Do you know that yet?
Yeah, I spoke with the manager already, so most likely I will be starting on Friday. So that's a
Nice.
good. Yeah.
Nice.
Well, exclusive we've got there, Greg.
Anwar El Ghazi starts. Don't give away any penalties then, Villa, else there's going to be some problems.
Would you? I mean, I don't know who the penalty taker is at Cardiff, but or even if the game can go to penalties as well. I've got to say, I do miss when we had a penalty and you were stepping up, and I just knew that you were going to score. It's such a nice feeling to know that a player that's taken a penalty for you is going to put the ball in the back of the net, because I think you did every single time, didn't you? So if the opportunity arose and you had to take a penalty against Villa, I guess again that's going to be a really strange moment for you.
Yeah, it's really weird, to be honest. But to be honest, if Aaron Ramsey's playing, he's not obviously the Welsh king. I have to give it to him. But if he's not on the pitch, obviously it's me who's gonna take them. But just let's not hope we get a penalty and just leave it. Or Aaron Ramsey can take it. I think that's better.
Yeah.
Okay, and just finally from us then, you've signed a 1-year contract at Cardiff, haven't you? So you're still playing for your future. I mean, what does the future look like for you? Are you hoping to extend, or are those discussions started yet?
No, at the moment I'm just focusing game by game. To be honest, as I said, last season I really thought that I was done. I wasn't gonna play at a high level anymore. So I'm just grateful for every minute I can make, and I want to enjoy Friday. So that's something I really look forward to. And our season ends almost in like 2 months already. So and see from the summer, I think I'm coming at a stage where I live just day by day and enjoy the moments I have now, because I felt last season, as I said, not good about my professional career. And I'm just enjoying the moments I get now, and then we see in the summer again what's there for me.
Just quickly, you mentioned that your child was born in Birmingham. Does that mean that they'll grow up as an Aston Villa fan?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. My son is a proper Aston Villa fan, so he's always talking about Aston Villa, And I arranged even with Aston Villa to walk up the pitch with my 2 sons.
Oh, really?
One, obviously, he wants to wear his Villa kit, who was born in Birmingham, and the other one will have to wear his Cardiff kit, obviously, because Cardiff is in my heart as well.
Yeah, that's what's wonderful. That's great to hear, isn't it, Greg?
That's amazing. Oh, that's fantastic. That'll be so that's confirmed. They'll both be going out with you tomorrow.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Yeah. I will try.
What an amazing! Oh, that's fantastic. Really good to hear, and good that Villa have helped you with that, have they? They've helped.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Villa is in my heart, and they try to assist whatever they can. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic! That's
I
great.
Don't know what to do now, because I don't. Do we wish Anwar luck? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what we do. I don't know how to end.
I just want a good game.
Yeah, good game. I think it'll be a good game. I don't know how much you've seen of Villa in the FA Cup this season, but the 2 games at Villa Park in the FA Cup have been 2 of my favourite games of the season, because the atmosphere has been so good, and I think the Villa fans really and the club are actually taking the FA Cup really seriously, because we didn't always take the FA Cup seriously when you were there, did we?
No.
Well, hopefully we do. Hopefully we do.
Even the Carabao Cup, when we came into the final, it was just like players who hasn't played much will get some minutes and see from there. But we kept winning, so we went to the final anyway. But I think they should, take it serious, and because they have a really strong team, they can grab it.
Yeah.
But I will try my best not to do so. Of course, I play for Cardiff, so.
Yeah, it's difficult. It's quite a unique situation. I guess players play against their old teams all the time. But Greg, to speak to someone who's playing for Cardiff before the game is a very strange situation.
Yeah, look, we're really grateful for Anwar to come on and speak to us and share his memories from Villa, but also just give us a bit of insight into Cardiff and just what's going to happen on Friday. But no, we really appreciate you coming on, Anwar. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time. Take care.
No problem. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks, mate. Well, Greg, I mean, his name's going to stay at the bottom of the screen. So I've got to be honest, I don't know how to change that at all. But that was quite surreal, actually, to do that.
Perhaps for you, Dan, but yeah, I mean, I speak to football players before
No, I mean,
games
to
most
preview,
weeks. But,
no, but to preview a game, you don't often do a podcast to
I got you,
preview a game, do you, with an opposition player?
No. Look, it was great for him to come on. You know, I've had some good conversations with Anwar over the years. You know, we've done plenty of exclusive interviews over the times. It's quite interesting actually, because I just remember the very first time I interviewed him, and it was after a game. I can't remember the game now, but it was in the mix zone where you can speak to players freely, or at least used to be able to. And I never got a good sort of vibe or impression of him. I never felt like any warmth from him at the time. I just felt like he wasn't interested in answering any of the questions. But then, as the years got by, I realised actually what a great guy he is, and and just actually how interested he is in talking about Aston Villa. You know, clearly, as you can see from that conversation that we've just had, you know, it's a club that means so much to him, and has stayed close to his heart. And some really, really interesting stuff from there. The fact that, you know, he thought that his career was ending when he was going through the issues that he mentioned previously.
That's me messing around. Sorry there, Greg, to cut you. Carry on. Sorry, that was me.
No problem. I was just saying, you know, that some really interesting things that he came out with in the interview there, saying that he thought his career was ending. You know, if for people that don't know his backstory, you know, go and have a read online and see what he's been through in recent years, and what happened when he was at Mainz in Germany, and why he's ended up back at Cardiff now. But also the fact that, you know, his son was born in Birmingham, and that he's a Villa fan now, that he's going to be walking out with his two kids tomorrow.
Yeah, that's great.
You know, it's going to be a lovely moment for him. And look, he'll be focused on trying to put in a really good performance and get a result for Cardiff. Of course he will. But, you know, it's nice for little fairy tale stories like that to happen, isn't it, as well?
Yeah, I mean, let's face it, Villa will probably concede, because it's what they do every single game. So going into the game myself, knowing that we will concede, because that's what we do. I guess as long as Villa win the game, if Anwar scores and has a nice time, I'm not too upset about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's easier for me as a neutral, isn't it? I'll just watch on and report.
You don't care either way.
I'll watch on and report. But yeah, look, you know, it'd be good to see him back. I thought he had some good moments for Villa, didn't he? Scored some wonderful goals. You know, none more important than the one that bundled in off his shoulder at Wembley, and helped Villa get to the Premier League. So, yeah, brilliant to have him on. And it will be interesting, won't it, Dan, to be honest, Friday, the game. It's a big one for Villa. They do need a reaction after that horror show at Crystal Palace in the week.
I'm still not over it, to be honest. I've done a show with Jacob earlier on the what day is it today? Wednesday? Is it Wednesday today?
Yeah, Wednesday.
I've done a show with Jacob. Looking back at it, probably one of the most annoyed I've probably ever been after a game under Emery. I take defeats pretty well generally, but I've got to be honest, that one last night really, really annoyed me. Villa now sitting 10th. You know, I think the FA Cup's really, really important regardless of that. But this is a chance for success. It's a big game. Anwar mentioned then, you know, we didn't always take the cup seriously, like rotating the squad, and you know, there'll always be an element of rotation after having a game on Tuesday and Friday, and Villa's schedule is quite manic anyway, as is. But you know, I want to win the FA Cup. I want to go to Wembley in the semis. I want to go to Wembley in the final. And no disrespect to Cardiff at all, because you know, Villa can't treat them lightly, but another home tie against a team in the league below, it's given us a real shot at some success in that competition this year.
I mean, it's a brilliant opportunity, isn't it? It's a game that you'd expect Villa to go and win. The home form, at least, has been brilliant this year, hasn't it?
Yeah,
in terms of, you know, they lost one game, right, against Arsenal. That's it, all season.
Palace in the cup as well.
Palace in the cup, yeah, of course. But that was a slightly changed team, wasn't it?
Big change. Yeah.
A big change team. You wouldn't expect that amount of changes. On Friday, although saying that, you know, Emery's starting lineup and changes against Crystal Palace really surprised me as well. So perhaps we can't second guess him as much as we used to be able to.
No, it'd be nice to see Anwar go up against John McGinn and Tyrone Mings, wouldn't it? That would be quite nostalgic.
Yeah, and Ezri Konsa as well, who he'll know, and Jacob Ramsey. You know, there'll be players there that he knows from the past. So yeah, it will be.
You know what? I've actually, you forgot there's more. I was thinking you always just think when someone like you mentioned the old team, oh, John McGinn, Tyrone Mings are still there.
Yeah.
Actually, Anwar played with a lot more than just that, didn't he? He played with Emery Martinez, Matty Cash. He did play with players like that, didn't he?
Yeah, and he would have been in and around the training and stuff, so he would have known them. He'd have had relationships with some of them as well. So yeah, look, it's clear to him how big of a moment it is for him. The fact that he was sitting in his hotel with the Cardiff team, watching the draw and waiting for that Villa one, and he got the perfect one. So fantastic for him.
Yeah, I mean, I really hope he does enjoy it. I hope he doesn't enjoy the game massively, but I can accept him in enjoying the occasion. Have you got anything you'd like to add, Greg?
Oh no, not really. Yeah, I mean, look, the podcast that we did earlier in the week, I was very positive about Villa's hopes of getting into the Champions League now, and trying not to get sort of too up and down by every result, because you have to judge obviously a season over the duration of those games. But it just felt very much like Villa had turned a corner after Ipswich and have now gone one step back again. So yeah, I just think there aren't many Premier League games now. There's just one I think there's one Premier League game in March. Is that right?
Just Brentford away, I think.
Yeah. So there's not many. Well, it means that the competitions now take on greater significance for Villa, and they need to help rebuild after what was a really bad result and even worse performance against Palace.
I guess Tuesday, Friday is not ideal, but then on the flip side of that, they've got a few extra days because they don't play again till Tuesday against Bruges. So rather than playing Saturday, Tuesday, Friday, Tuesday, I mean, that's helpful, I guess.
Yeah, and look, Cardiff played last night as well, so there's no major advantage to the opponent there as well. So they're both having to manage games, and you'd expect Villa with the quality that they have to get over the line.
Yeah, I love how Anwar just said he was playing as well. Basically, didn't he? Just revealed he was probably going to play. So that's great. We picked up a couple of exclusives there, Greg.
yeah. I mean, yeah.
Greg's got nothing to add. He didn't like that question at all. Right then, let's go. Thanks again to Anwar for joining us. Absolute pleasure to talk to him. It really was quite surreal previewing a game with someone who's going to be playing in the game on Friday. Thanks to Gregg for sorting it out as well. We have to give Global Greg Evans his credit where it's due. Do go back and watch that podcast from Monday and watch the match reaction show that Jacob and I did, or listen if that's your favourite way of taking in the content, because I mean it's not a great listen, the one with me and Jacob, to be honest, because I was quite frustrated, but it might make you feel better in some ways. It was certainly a better show than the game was for Aston Villa. Do subscribe with your post notifications on YouTube. Leave us a comment and a like as well. And if you're listening via audio, if you could leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars, and leave us a comment and leave us 5 stars on Spotify, that would be much appreciated. Greg and I will be back at some point. Maybe we'll do it over the weekend with Villa playing Friday. It feels a bit long to wait till Monday to look back over a game. But Greg and I will be doing our usual podcast, so watch out for that. Keep your eye on your socials. Those that are going to Villa Park on Friday, I will see you there. And as ever, up the Villa.